And Carly, you're able to pinpoint where that storm
Right.
is now and who's being impacted.
That's right. What we're looking at is just in the last few minutes, most of the system has started to kind of stretch out, if you will, just for layman's terms. But if you take a look at that, you can see that there's still intense downpours. Now, this does have the ability to still become something. It is a thunderstorm. They're still pushing through. I'm going to zoom out for you so you can actually just take a look at the direction it's moving. It's moving to the northeast. So areas around Jackson, West Point starting to get hit with some of the rain already, and then the downpours are on their way. We just want to keep our eye on some of the heating. We get most of our intense heating in the valley, and that is where they start to at least create those thunderstorms, start to billow up. Then they start heading to the northeast into the foothill spots where we expect to see more of the downpours happening. And then we also usually see the tornado rotation movement happening on radar. Now what we're seeing is most of this has begun to weaken. So at this point in time, we're just seeing mostly that heavy hail still falling for a lot of zones, not indicating any rotation or anything of that sort on my radar. Currently, it is just an intense thunderstorm at this point, and most of these issues and warnings are already starting to be lifted for a lot of areas. And we were checking in earlier that special weather statement for areas around Roseville all the way up to Chico. That's where we are also taking a look at a special weather statement for some of the severe thunderstorms. You zoom in right here near Auburn. Take a look at this. We're looking at some thunderstorm formation there near Loomis as it's going to start heading its way toward Auburn. Do expect to see some areas around that area where you're getting those downpours, some hail, and that's the spot we want to keep our eye on, because underneath there we're still getting a lot of that heating happening, which could also provide some sort of funnel cloud or even movement, rotation movement. But as we start continuing on into your evening hours, temperatures are going to start dropping even further, and have already begun to do so. That's the good news with that. As temperatures drop, we get less instability in the atmosphere, meaning we're basically kind of fizzling out here of these thunderstorms.
But my goodness, talk about a widespread area that this storm system covers, huh? We're talking about Placer County. We're talking about San Joaquin County, Calaveras. It just is widespread, and that's why we are bringing you this live breaking news weather coverage. There you kind of get a bigger picture of just how much area this covers. You see Sacramento, Elk Grove, pretty clear, but look just to the side there at Placer County, Auburn, Placerville, Jackson. If you're hearing us now and if you're watching this right now, we just want you to start thinking about getting into identifying where your safe spaces might be, where you can go. This is the area that we're watching particularly because they have identified a tornado warning that has been in place for quite some time now and has been extended, Carly.
Right. It's been extended just a little longer. It's at this point, like I mentioned, it's starting to fizzle out a bit. The intensity of any kind of indication of rotation isn't there just yet. It's mostly just downpours, hail, thunderstorm activity, as well as lightning. And as you can see here, the timing of all this, 14 minutes Valley Springs, this is the timing of how long we expect more of these thunderstorms to continue through the area. 29 minutes more for Jackson, and even as high as Elmo Ranch, 57 minutes. So we're still looking at some intense storms for the next hour for some of these areas, although there may not be as gusty as winds or that kind of rotation that we were picking up on radar just about an hour and 15 minutes ago. We were starting to see more rotation happening and at least being picked up on radar. That is no longer being picked up on. What we're seeing now are just thunderstorms, so that's the good news in all of this. The tornado warning basically now expired as it is starting to fizzle out.
Okay, that is what we pledged to do. We were going to stick with you through this thing. Let's take a quick break. We're going to reset and we'll be right back with the very latest on what we're seeing as we continue our breaking news weather coverage.